Okay, let's talk about it. Now, a couple of days I reviewed a game that looked like GPO and Project Slayers had a baby and spat it out. The name of that game was Vast Blue. I named the video GPO 2 because it looked like Grand Peace Online. Now, after that video, I kind of got to thinking about GPO, and I have been thinking about GPO. Grand Peace Online Update 7 is the worst thing we've ever seen since everything GPO. What was the Alabasta update? That's update 4, right? I think it was update 4. Well, it was the worst update since update Alabasta, right? Quite terrible. And y'all know how bad that update was. Remember career racing? Yeah, exactly. I need to say no more. But yeah, I've been thinking about GPO and what the next update may actually be. Now, a couple of days ago, if not a couple of weeks ago, the GPO developers went on vacation, and coming back from vacation, TB Glitch popped into the stream. If you don't know who TB Glitch is, then why are you watching this video? Who doesn't know who TB Glitch is? Anyways, he's one of the developers on the Grand Peace Online team, very talented man. And he did say, hey, we are working on the next Grand Peace Online update. I'm just not allowed to tell you guys what's going on. And you know what? Thank you for that, because that popped up in my head and is the reason why we're here today making this video. So what is the next Grand Peace Online update? What is update 8 gonna entail? Now obviously Battle Royale season 3 is going to be a whole thing. I don't really want to talk about Battle Royale because we already know what Battle Royale entails, war combos, etc. Obviously they're going to change up the map, hopefully for the better. They take what we liked about season 1's map and they remix it. Hopefully, you know, they improve on the Battle Royale standards and actually implement good Battle Pass things this time. But the Battle Royale is its own game. It's its own thing, so we're not going to talk about that. Dungeons should be making a return, but again, I don't really care about Dungeons either. Dungeons is probably the most irrelevant thing to come to the game since Battle Royale came into existence. I have no reason to grind waves of enemies now because I can farm fruits through Battle Royale, even though Battle Royale is full of hackers. Yeah. Moving on from that, the main topic of this video, update 8 should be Impel Down. Now, if you're not new to the GPO community, we've been asking for Impel Down since like update 2. We've been asking for Impel Down for a very long time now, and now actually seems like the perfect time to do it. Grand Peace Online is probably the lowest it's ever been, because before when it was low, it was like 4 or 5k, and that was during paid access. Now we're hitting things like 2k during free release. The player base is quite fed up, and that's not good. So I really feel like this update 8 needs to do it. I don't think GPO is ever going to completely die, but if update 8 doesn't hit, I don't know, man. There's a lot of good games coming out this year. Now, moving back onto the topic of Impel Down. Impel Down has 6 levels. Impel Down is an underwater prison, and I really feel like they could do a lot with it. And maybe taking from some inspiration from Deep Woken to a sense, but Impel Down could really change the game. Now, Impel Down shouldn't be a dungeon. I think this should be overworld content. There's no way they make it a dungeon, right? It has to be overworld content. For you, if Impel Down's not overworld content, you're genuinely a seller. Now, maybe it should be within its own instance. So what I mean by this is Impel Down, the island itself could be huge, right? The initial island, you sell to the island is huge. There's a bunch of things to do on the island, right? And then the actual entrance to Impel Down, maybe you go inside, kind of like Carshall Sanctuary, right? You go inside and you speak to the person. There's a person that teleports you down, and maybe next to the person there's a shop. Now, I'm going to talk about the shop later. We're not going to talk about that now, but we talk to the lady or whoever's at the Impel Down, and then whoever's in your party, you can teleport down to Impel Down with you. And then once you teleport down to Impel Down, the first level, it'll teleport you down to the entrance of the first level. It takes you into a different instance, because obviously it would be way too laggy to make Impel Down like within the main game with everybody else in the server. It would be too crazy. I don't think the Grand Peace Online or Roblox servers would be able to handle something like that. Teleport you into a completely new instance. Now, the entrance of the first level. We're not at the first level yet. We're at the entrance of the first level. Kind of similar to how verse 2 works. Maybe, you know, there's some sort of puzzle you need to do to activate the gate, blah, blah, blah. then you go into the first area, and then obviously there's going to be mobs around the place, and you need to figure out what you need to do. Don't let get handed to us. We don't want the game to tell us what to do. Maybe we need to figure out what we need to do in order to get to the next level. I mean, the level 1 doesn't need to be hard. Maybe just clear all the enemies on the floor and then do a little puzzle piece, and then we can not go straight down to the second floor, but maybe there's like a maze or something we need to traverse through, or maybe like a giant slide or something, right? That would be really cool, like a giant slide. And if you pick, or maybe there's like 4 different slides and only one of them actually leads to the right thing. And before you got to the 4 slides, there was like hints and clues along the way that randomize every time, right? Hints and clues along the way that help you know what slide to go down. Obviously, you're not going to want to go down the wrong slide and fall to your death, or you're not going to want to go down the wrong slide and, you know, get teleported out the dungeon because you picked the wrong one. So you're going to need to pay attention to your environment, your surroundings. And then on the second floor, you do a bunch of other stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then obviously, I feel like the end of each floor, or at least the end of floor 2, floor 4, and floor 6, because they're even numbers, right? Even numbers, have a boss. And obviously, the second floor of Impel Down did have like two beasts there as well. So maybe, you know, for you can make it a little bit canon and switch it up a little bit as well to make it more fun for the players. And then obviously floor 6 is the last floor. There's a big bad boss. Maybe there's a mini boss before the main boss. The main boss would probably drop. Obviously, each floor progressively gets harder. You don't want it to be easy throughout the whole thing. But the last floor, the boss drops like maybe Sea Prison Stone, right? The last boss drops Sea Prison Stone, and you can turn in that Sea Prison Stone at the shop that I mentioned earlier. Once you complete it, it teleports you out. And maybe the boss doesn't drop an exact number every time. Maybe anywhere between 3 to 8 Sea Prison Stones for each party member, depending on how much damage they did, right? So the person that did the most damage would get the most. But if you didn't do that much damage, you're still gonna get something, just not as much as the people who contributed a lot. And then obviously if you die before the boss is done, you don't get anything. So you go back to the shop. You can turn in these Sea Prison Stones as a currency to the shop owner. He gives a bunch of different rewards, new different drops, new items, new armors, nothing cosmetic. You don't want to grind Impel Down for a cosmetic item. So all significant, maybe new weapons, new Sea Prison weapons, etc. And then we can grind that. It'll give players an incentive to keep grinding Impel Down, and that would be really cool. And then amongst that, floor 2, floor 4, and floor 6, each of those boss have different drops. And maybe along the way, even in floor 1, 3, and 5, there's still drops you can get along the way and different things you can get, blah 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 blah. I really feel like if FOU does this right, it could be really good. Now, I do want to state the only issue that this whole thing has. GPL doesn't have a lot of things it can use to reward the player base with, other than SP resets, dark roots, and devil fruits. Genuinely, the game isn't RPG like. It isn't MMO RPG like. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Just think of games like New World, like Railseas. I'm assuming they're gonna have a good RPG system, and like Deep Welcome, where you can get enchants and things of that nature. I feel like the only reward that people care about is devil fruits, and I don't really want devil fruits to be a reward for doing Impel Down. It doesn't make sense. But again, yeah, I don't know. FOU would have to talk with the other developers and come up with ideas, because obviously FOU doesn't want to hire me. Clearly I have better ideas than him. No offense for you, I love and respect you, but shit man, the ideas are terrible. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I really feel like update 8 should be Impel Down focus, and then obviously the battle royale gets updated, and maybe dungeon gets updated as well. But yeah, update 8 Impel Down, I really feel like it would be cool, especially if, and the next fruit's meant to be Venom anyways. Wasn't the Venom guy from Impel Down? Hey man, I'm really cooking in the kitchen. Let him cook. But if you made it to the end of the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and let me know what you think. I genuinely feel like this is a good idea. If you didn't, then I mean, let me know why you don't. And I'm gonna see y'all boys in the next one. Peace.